Hi, everyone. As you recall, I did say I was going to do a brief video on the peer review, and this is what that is. So, very specifically, you can see here in the Week 7 folder, there is the intro video, the readings, which is, mostly actually for this week, but anyway. Under peer review, there's a peer review folder, and I have three things here. Peer review partners, peer review questions, and peer feedback for research essay. Okay? So, peer review partners, if you click on this, very specifically, hi everyone, please find below your name in a group of 3. Those are your peer review members. You only need to share your document with one of them. I would recommend sending your draft as early as possible to one of your group members to give them time to look through it and answer the questions I asked of each of you. Their EC3 email is in the parentheses. Just remember to add at ec3pa.org. Now, I want to mention I just went alphabetically and grouped people into groups of first 3 students together, next 3 students, and so on. So that's how I did the groups. Don't be mad at me. I just followed the roster. But completely seriously, what I'm asking you to do is look at this, send out an email to one of your people and say, hey, here is my essay. Could you please look over this for my peer review? So as an example, for the email thing, if we look in group 3, we have Miranda, Claudine, and Steve. Steve's email here, we have S. Jaskowitz, so we'd add at ec3pa.org, and that's his email. That's how I'm asking you to do that. That's where so Dylan DeBreo, D. DeBreo at ec3pa.org. That's the student email, okay? These are your groups. Find your name. Like I said, it went alphabetically, so that's just the way the cookie crumbled. But the people underneath your group, those are the ones that I ask you to email, okay? So make sure that everybody has at least somebody looking at it. The questions I ask each of you is here, the peer review questions. So please note, it's a big old image. Question, what is the author's thesis statement? What are they trying to say? Do you have an understanding of where they're going with their argument? What sort of evidence does the author provide? Is it sufficient for their argument? Does the author provide enough background that just about anyone can understand their argument? Does the author's stance or argument make sense? Are there any issues you can see in it? As you were reading through it, was there anything you thought was important or missing? Remember, you may not be the expert, but if you have questions, others will too. Then I'm going to ask you to look at the citations. Are there in-text citations? Do they look correct? How do the end citations look? After answering the above, please go back through and mark any grammatical or spelling errors. And then last but not least, provide any constructive feedback you have that hasn't been addressed anywhere else. That's what I'm asking you to provide back to the person. So, you will email your draft to somebody else, and that person will go through these questions while looking at your draft. The person who reads through the draft, answer these questions mostly for yourself, but also for your partner. I urge you to send back to the person who sent you their draft a kind of summary of everything that you went through here. Let them know what needs work, what you really liked, what you disliked, how it worked, things like that. Because the peer feedback, we go to view instructions here. As soon as you submit your draft to me on Blackboard, you should also send a copy of your draft to the other students in your workshop group. Like I said, one person is all you need to, but you can ask more. You can ask people that aren't in that group as well if you want, but I'm asking for at least one person. Once you have access to your group members' drafts, you will need to read these drafts and send your group members your feedback. In your feedback, you should include what you think is working well in each draft as long with what could be improved. Once the person has the feedback back, I want you, the person who has received the feedback for your draft. This is why everybody's going to be able to do this, because every draft is going to be read by at least one other person. When you get your feedback, I want you to write a summary to me going over what feedback you got, as well as a brief plan for how you will use it to revise it or how you're not going to. So you should be able to just click right in here and type up your summary. That's what I'm looking for. That's what needs to be submitted to the peer feedback for research essay. When you get your peer feedback, I want you to summarize it and tell me how you're going to use it or not use it. And that should be typed in right here in the submission and submitted. That's it. Okay? That's what's going in here, is your summary of what you heard from your peer review partner. Okay? That being said, I've already stated it. Your peer review is available. If you have questions, please reach out to me. But please note, the first thing should be sending your draft to your partner or one of the people in your group. That's the goal, okay? That being said, that's this overview. Hopefully you don't have questions, but if you do, I am available. And good luck.